Good afternoon. This is UWS News. I am Matthews Akindele. Football clubs across Scotland are being asked to provide the SFA with data as the governing body continues to update its regulations surrounding the headings of footballs by children. UWS News reporter Peter Queens has more.
The SFA is making a concerted effort to restrict how often youth footballers head the ball, in order to limit the risk of players developing neurodegenerative diseases such as dementia once their playing careers are over. A field study carried out by Glasgow University has provided evidence of increased neurodegenerative disease in former professional soccer players, with risks shown to be greatest for outfield players, specifically defenders and those with longer career lengths. As a result, the SFA has released an extensive set of guidelines surrounding heading in youth football. Scottish football expert and Daily Record journalist Robbie Hanratty believes that the guidelines could help provide better technical players in the future.
I think preventing young players from heading the ball is actually a good thing. We've seen things recently with dementia and things with brain damage in later years, and it might actually help produce better players because they'll be playing the ball on the ground rather than in the air.
He also thinks the guidelines will prompt a change in the style of football played across the country.
You see a lot of footballers coming through the ranks at teams who are exciting and like to play passing, move football, and I think we've moved away as football transitions, moved away from that kind of heading, rough and tumbleness of football. So definitely, I think going forward, there could be a higher quality of football.
Youth footballer Andrew has already noticed a decrease in heading at training due to the guidelines.
I think there are a lot of different guidelines for different age groups, which can get quite confusing quite a lot of the time. But I've noticed a lot less heading during training. It still seems to be the same in matches, which I think is good for just now.
However, he believes that players are aware of the risks they take when they play the game.
Well, I think there are an awful lot of other injuries in football that are very serious as well, and heading is just another one that people who decide to play the game or need to be prepared for.
With the SFA now asking clubs to provide data on how often youth players are heading the ball in training, it is expected that further changes will be introduced to safeguard against future neurological diseases. Peter Quinn, UWS News.
There were mixed fortunes for Kilmarnock's football teams last weekend, as both their men and women's sides surged for promotion. Peter Quinn joins me now to analyse what the weekend's results mean for both sides. Hi Peter. Firstly, the men's side secured promotion back to the Scottish Premiership. Is that well deserved?
I would say that it is, yeah. I think that they're definitely the strongest team in that division. They've got some quality players and a really good manager now in Derek McInnes as well. I think one of the key factors in their promotion is that they showed up in the big matches. For example, on Friday's win, which sealed the title for them. They were 1-0 down to their nearest challengers. They fought back and then got a late winner through Blair Olsen that sent a packed crowd completely wild. I think that a lot of neutral Scottish football fans had been back in Arbroath. They're a small club that would have been a bit of a fairy tale if they'd managed to get themselves promoted. But at the end of the day, I would say that most people would agree that Kilmarnock FC are a club who belong in the top flight.
So, Peter, how important could this prove for the for the town and for Ayrshire in general?
I think it's a massive boost for the local area, and in particular the town of Kilmarnock. You only need to look as far as the examples of teams like Falkirk FC, Dunfermline, who were massive clubs historically and have now been out of the top flight for a long period of time, over 10 years. And you can see that the interest among the fans in these towns, it completely evaporates, it disappears. So it does affect a town when a club who are historically so big, so important to the atmosphere in the local area, when they disappear from the top flight for a long period of time, it makes a massive difference to the town as a whole. So I think that bouncing straight back up the way they have done is something that should be greatly celebrated in Kilmarnock.
But unfortunately, the women's side have fallen short of promotion this year. What do you think was the reason they missed out this year?
So I think at the end of the day there's a number of reasons. One of the key ones is that they're among the strongest sides in that division, but they failed to show up on the big occasions, in the big matches that really mattered. Dundee United ran away with the title in SWPL 2. They were by far the best team in the league, but the battle for second place and the second promotion spot is still raging on even into next weekend's matches. Glasgow Girls had been in control for most of the season, but they've really stumbled since Christmas. They've fallen away, and at that point Kilmarnock were really well placed to try and capitalise to take that spot. However, they haven't managed to do so. They've had bad results at the wrong times. For example, their 2-1 loss to a quickly improving St Johnstone side this Sunday, which effectively sealed their fate, that they remain in SWPL2 for next season. And now it looks like Boroughmuir Thistle are going to be on course to steal that second spot and move up. The positive for Kilmarnock is that if they keep hold of their players, I think that they're going to be really well placed to make another challenge for promotion next season.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Now for a roundup of today's other stories. Maintenance work is now underway on Victoria Bridge in Ayr. The Ayrshire Roads Alliance have said that the work, which has led to the closure of one lane and has required a diversion for pedestrians, is to waterproof the bridge on Station Road. The roadworks are expected to be in place until mid-June. It was agony and ecstasy for Kilmarnock's football teams last weekend as they continued their hunt for promotion. A last-minute winner helped Derek McInnes' men to a 2-1 victory over Arbroath to secure the Cinch Championship title and seal the return to the top flight. Meanwhile, the women's side fell to a 2-1 defeat to St Johnstone on Sunday, which ended their promotion hopes for this season. And finally, the Scottish cricket season gets underway this weekend, with 2022 set to be a significant year both on and off the pitch. An investigation is underway into allegations of institutional racism within Cricket Scotland, while a return to a more normal season on the pitch will be widely welcomed following 2 seasons of strict COVID guidelines and restrictions. That's all for now. We'll be back with more in an hour.